Hey everyone, welcome back to this lesson. So in this one, we're gonna do a couple of practices. One's gonna be very simple and one's gonna be a little bit complicated. But again, based on what you've learned, you should be able to easily understand it, based on what you learned in the previous video. So again, we're gonna do an input practice and we're gonna involve some printing as well. As I mentioned, you can actually mix them together, right? So for you to get started, you want to make sure you fork the practice code. So like this is basically what's going to look like. If you click the resources section or the link in the resources section, it's going to take you to the page where you can fork this code, and it's going to have the instructions to basically just tell you what you need to write. So the first one is pretty simple, right? Create an input function asking for someone's name. So we're just gonna write we're gonna say input, right? And we're gonna say, what is your name? Very simple, right? So just like that, and let's run it, and that's gonna give us, it's gonna ask us a question. What is your name? I'm just gonna say Sean, and that's the end of the program. There we go. So that's pretty simple. Now, if you remember, we talked about using print and how to actually ask for someone's name and add it to that sentence, right? So this one is going to be a little bit tricky because instead of one question, we're going to ask a few questions. Because in the previous video, in a previous lesson where I was talking about inputs, what we did was this: we said print, right? If you remember, let me just type that down real quick. So we said, what is your name? What is your name? And then we concatenate that, right? So we just input, that's where we use our input function, and we're gonna say, what is your name? Actually, let's just gonna say your name is, and then what is your name? And just like that, we're going to basically close that off, right? Well, let me just fix that real quick. There we go. So the idea with this is that if you actually write this down, let me actually get rid of this stuff. Hold up, let me just get rid of this, or comment this out. Okay, so the idea is that you're going to say, what is your name? We're going to get a question, which is again this one, right? I'm just going to say Sean, and it's going to say your name is Sean. Obviously, it needs to be ironed out and everything, but here we go. So let's just make it clean. I like to make things clean, right? So Sean, and then it's going to say your name is Sean. So that's pretty simple. We kind of practice this, nothing complicated, but let's actually make it a little bit more interesting. For this practice, what I want you to do is I want you to think about how can you actually ask a few questions. And if you think about it, it's pretty simple, right? It's just concatenating and adding these sentences after one another. So what I want to do based on this practice is that we're going to write a code, okay? Write a code, a print function asking for someone's name and age, then put them together and make it into a sentence like, your name is Sean and you are 24 years old. So if you think about it, it's pretty simple. So let's actually start this from the beginning. So we want to, again, you want to imagine this sentence, just the way it is. Think about it. Your name is Sean and you are 24 years old, right? And you want to start exactly the way that sentence is starting. Your name is, okay, so that's that. So I'm going to leave a space in front of it and close this, right? And obviously the next one is Sean, so I'm going to ask for a input. So we're going to plus this, right? Concatenate it and input, and we're going to start opening this up, and we're going to say, what is your name? And give it a space so we keep it clean. And we're going to say plus, right? So again, concatenating again, and you are, right? So if you think about it, we asked for the name, your name is Sean, and you are, so we're just going to add this portion of it, right? We're just going to open up, and you are, and give it space before and after, because just that's how you want it to look like. You want it to be cleaner. And we're going to say again 24 years old, so we're going to ask for input again, right? So I'm just going to concatenate again, and I'm going to say input, and we're going to say, how old are you? And just like that, and we're going to say plus, again concatenating, and we're going to say open this up. Years old. Here we go. So just like that, we are like filling out these questions, right? Your name is whatever you enter, and you are whatever age you enter. That's it. Old, right? So if you run it, it's gonna ask us, well, let's see what happened here. Line 8. Well, actually, we gotta close this off. My bad. So yeah, here we go. As see, everybody makes mistakes. So there we go. Your name is, what is your name? I'm gonna say Sean. And how old are you? I'm gonna say 24. And just like that, your name is Sean and you are 24 years old. See guys, very simple, right? Very, very simple. So that's how you do it pretty much. Again, I just wanted to make this a little bit more interesting and make it more creative for you guys. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging. As I said, what you want to do is you want to practice this, not with me, but like either before and after me, you know, like when you actually access these things that you will need to solve. You definitely want to practice this and make sure you understand the concept of it. And basically, based on this, like whatever we did here, you can add as many sentences and questions as you like. You know, like you can just ask anything you want and make a really long sentence. So that's pretty much how it is. And it's a very simple concept. So I just want you to practice this. That's very, very important because we're going to be putting all of these together and build something really cool, very simple but really cool, which is going to put all of these things that you've been learning so far in one single program, which is really nice. So make sure you are mastering this, make sure you understand this very, very good before you move on to the next section or the next videos. All right, let me know if you have any questions about names and inputs and all that stuff, because again, pretty simple stuff, but if you have any questions, let me know. Go over the video again if you have to. I'll see you in the next one.